Good evening. It is 7 p.m. I am calling to order the Wayne Wesleyan Community Schools meeting of the school board, and we're going to begin with item 152.26, Pledge of Allegiance to the Flag. I'd like to welcome up Brooklyn Coleman, Liam Baharino, and Cameron Wimbert. You're going to lead us in the pledge, so come on down.
And we have Mr. Tyler, principal of Edison, with us as well.
Oh, yes, I apologize, Mr. Tyler.
It's okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Stay here.
Here, guys, come on up.
Not off the hook just yet. All right, so we have 3 fifth grade students here. So we have Cameron Rembert, who's a 5th grade student at Edison. He's in Miss Martin's classroom. He lives with mom, dad, and grandma. He's got 2 older brothers and a sister also at Edison. Cameron loves to play football, appropriate for tonight, and wants everyone to know that Edison's team is still undefeated. You had to plug that in there. He also loves to eat Oreos and barbecue ribs, not necessarily in that order. And when he grows up, he hopes to be either a business owner or something affiliated with the NFL. Next, just stay there 1 sec, bud. Next, we've got Liam Bayorano, also a 5th grade student at Edison. He's in Miss Diebel's class. He lives with mom, dad, and brother. In his free time, Liam enjoys building Legos, eating cheeseburgers, playing baseball with friends. When he grows up, he hopes to be an air traffic controller, is what he says. Must have done this right for lunch. You guys are all on food. And last but not least, we got Brooklyn Coleman, also a 5th grade student. She's in Mrs. Brown's 5th grade class. She's also, I'd like to mention, our office safety. She helps us out in the office. She lives with her mom and brother. In her free time, Brooklyn enjoys drawing and cheerleading. And when she grows up, she hopes to be a vet to help animals.
Thank you so much for being here this evening. This is for you. Thank you all for being here this evening.
Okay, oh, hang on, because we need a picture. One last thing. Can you turn your certificates around? Turn your certificates around. There you go. Perfect.
Again, thank you all for being here this evening. We are now at item 153.26, roll call and attendance. Mrs. Hines.
Mr. Ambrose,
Present.
Miss Abney Mitchell,
Present.
Miss Hines present, Mr. Cox is excused, Dr. Weaver is excused, Mr. Roshan,
Present.
Miss May, President May.
Present.
We have 5 and 2.
Thank you. Next, we have item 154.26, recognitions and presentations. To lead us this evening with that, we have building updates from Edison Elementary School, Mr. Bennett Tyler. Thank you for being here.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so for Edison, just some demographics. You should have this in your packet, but we currently have 407 students. That's of our fall count. We have 18 K-5 classrooms. That includes 2 resource room classes, speech, social work. We service about 65 students with an IEP. We have 40 multilingual students, which includes 20 newcomers from 15 different countries.
Wow.
You can see the ethnicity for our school broke down there. And we got about 6.4% for our mobility rate. Next, we have a social emotional attendance goal. We're working to build healthy relationships with staff, with students. We actually have very good attendance. I can show you in this graph right there. Fluctuates by month, but we're right around 90%. Chronic absences, we're doing a little better this year than last. It's kind of small, but you can see the drop there. All right, so what do we do to support our students? We have the Family Resource Center, which offers food pantries, clothing banks, financial aid, mental health support. We have Care Solace. We have access to clinics. We have free breakfast and lunch. We're PBIS school-wide. We have a full-time behavior coach, an attendance monitor, and we offer EMU Bright Futures as well as Champions. All right, any students want to comment on this? Have you guys had a token yet? Anybody get a token yet? Anything you want to share on this? This is a new addition this year. You want to say anything about it?
So basically, it's like a vending machine.
She can
So
come.
you put the coin in, you put the number, like the book you want, like there's a number under the book, and then you just like wait for it to go down, and then, yeah, you get it when you're like behaving.
In a true vending machine fashion, the books do get jammed sometimes. So you still have to jiggle it. That is a thing, but we're really excited. So we're giving those out to incentivize behavior in the halls, classroom, not putting a lot of parameters, just trying to encourage the students to do well. We also have lots of Student of the Month assemblies. So these are from last year, because this year's kind of new, but there's a picture there. And the famous Student of the Month frame, kids love getting their picture taken, of course. Parents love coming for good news as well. Tier 1 instruction, MTSS goals. They're rather lengthy and lofty goals, but our goal is to increase literacy instruction through our DI block, or differentiated instruction. We're also really pushing our MTSS program, making sure that students are getting all the help they need to do the best that they possibly can. I've got some great data to show to prove that. The next one, this is our NWA data, and this shows our winter data for the last few years. So we want the green up and the red down, of course. Our reading data. And then the next couple slides were added to your packet because when I told the teachers I was doing this presentation, they were real quick to pull data to show off our school. So I definitely wanted to show these next couple. So this is our letters data, and these would be current 5th grade students. So if you can see the red, shifting all the way to almost all green.
Mr. Tyler, for those at home, what is letters data? Can you?
Yep, that's our, so this one, it's different assessments. The one you're looking at is our letter sound correspondence, so just assessing if students know their letters and their sounds. So these are current 5th grade this year. So again, this slide shows MTSS. These are our 1st graders with closed syllables. So you can see again the red dropping. These are our 2nd graders looking at blends and digraphs. And our 3rd grade vowel consonant E. So we like the reds going down. That's our celebration, of course. A few more points of pride. As Cameron already mentioned, we have an NFL flag team that is doing very well. We offer cheer and then boys and girls basketball. And I've got a few more pictures to share. We have a safety patrol service squad. Safety's on the left there. You get to go to a baseball game, Tigers game. I know Daryl was excited about that. That's in the spring. This is actually on Thursday. We have our trunk or treat, which is incredibly well attended. Pretty much the whole school and neighborhood shows. we have our 5th grade camp. They go to a camp in Jackson. We do a career day. We've done 2. This will be our 3rd annual. We have about 25 different volunteers that come in and share info about the careers to the students. It's usually a day in May. And then last year, we did our first celebration for 5th graders. We didn't want to call it a graduation, but we went on a riverboat cruise down the Detroit River, and then we had all the families in for pizza, salad, and kind of an end-of-the-year celebration. So they had a great time. Perfect weather as well. Didn't really have a rain date, so that was perfect. All right. Any questions?
Thank you. Does anyone from the board have any questions? Yes,
I'd
Mrs.
just like to make a comment. This is really good information. It's really positive. Everything's moving in the right direction. And I like that you guys do like the career ahead of time, because I was telling a lot of people I know in the community, like, don't wait till like high school. You gotta start earlier, because kids don't really know when you wait too late, and then they can prepare. So I really like you guys getting them out. And then too, like some kids, they don't get out of the city. They never get a chance to go down to Detroit to see the river and all that good stuff. So
We were very surprised how many had not been on the river. Definitely a boat.
yeah. So thank you for all you guys' achievements, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, Mrs.?
I got a couple of questions and comment, but, how many safety officers do you guys have? Obama Park figure.
I was going to say we have the answer right there.
We have about 40 students that participate in helping run the school.
Oh, I like that. I was a safety officer, and I'm glad y'all continue to tuition. One of the things that we look forward to as safety officers is going to see the ball game. So I'm happy that y'all still do that. And also, just thank you for all you do, and I just have one more. Are you guys following, sharing with the family, the gun safety laws and the gun locks? Do you have?
We are. Yep, they're in our vestibule with signs, and they've been passed out.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you for everything.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there
Not to
any-
brag, I was safety captain in the 6th grade, and look where I ended up.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Next.
President May, we're able to excuse the families,
Oh,
correct?
absolutely, absolutely, yes. Thank you all for being here this evening. Cameron looks like he wants to stay. He is welcome to stay. Next on the agenda, we have the audit presentation from Plant Moran.
Well, thank you and good evening.
Good evening.
Appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight to present the results of the audit of the district's financial statements for the year ended June 30th, 2025. My name is Jeff Higgins. I'm a partner with Plant Moran. And like all school districts in the state of Michigan, Wayne Westland is required to have an annual audit conducted by an independent accounting firm. And so we've completed our audit, and we're here tonight to talk about those results. There's several documents that come out of the audit process. There's the financial report with supplemental information, which contains the district's audited financial statements. There's a separate federal award supplemental information, which is a separate report that for an audit that we do specifically on the federal programs administered by the district. And then finally, there's a report to the Board of Education, which provides some insight into the audit process itself. And so we put together a presentation tonight just to go through some of the key highlights and touch upon some of the financial results for this last year. So just starting the key highlights, the key results of the audit. So the basic audit or audit of the financial statements, we've rendered an unmodified or clean opinion on the district's financial statements. That'd be the highest level of assurance that we can provide on a set of financial statements. For our separate audit of the federal programs, specifically this year we tested the Child Nutrition Program, the Title I program, and the Title II program. Again, we've rendered an unmodified or clean opinion on those programs. No findings reported, no question costs. Again, a very clean audit for this last fiscal year. And we're also required under the state of Michigan rules to perform separate compliance procedures on the sinking fund and bond activities administered by the district. So we did our procedures on the 2019 bond fund, which is the fund that just wrapped up this last fiscal year, and the sinking fund. And again, the results of our procedures indicated no compliance findings. The bond was very clean, and the monies were spent in accordance with all the applicable rules and regulations. So again, a clean report on the bond and sinking fund dollars administered by the district. Next, getting into a few of the details on the audit. Oop, jumped forward on me. So essentially, our job as the district's independent auditors is to provide an opinion on the financial statements prepared by the district. And so in order for us to render that opinion, we are required to perform an audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards in the United States of America. And again, as I mentioned, the results of our tests and procedures, we've rendered this unmodified or clean opinion on the district's financial statements. So touching on some of the financials themselves then, so based on that clean opinion, as of June 30th, 2025, the total assets of the districts amounted to just over $91 million. You see, get liabilities about $57 million. The primary sources of the assets of $91 million was primarily cash. About 40% of that, or $36.3 million, was cash and investments. There was $24.4 million of receivables, which was primarily made up of July and August state aid receivables and property tax receivables. There was another $30 million of restricted assets, which essentially represented cash and cash equivalents, which is then to be used on the liability side. We'll talk about in a moment. There was a state aid note, which that cash was then used to pay off after the end of the year. One quick item to note on the receivables. So we talked about how that primarily, roughly $20 million of your receivables are July and August state aid payment. As we'll see in a minute, the majority of funding for districts in Michigan is through state aid, the foundation allowance. The foundation allowance is actually paid in 11 installments. So you get your first installment in October, and you're paid through the following August. What that effectively means is that over 18% of your state aid is actually received after the end of your fiscal year end. So it just causes district to have to do a lot of balancing and cash management to deal with that sort of stretched out cash payment protocol that the state uses to fund districts in the state of Michigan. On the liability side, as I mentioned, there's about $57 million in total of liabilities. But the primary part there is a state aid note payable of about $30 million, and that was paid off shortly after year, and that was paid off by the end of August of this year. Next, we'll go take a look at the general fund revenue. So for 2025, you can see revenue totaled just under $42 million. Of that total revenue, local source revenue is about $25.6 million, and that's primarily property taxes. You can see the largest portion of the funding, though, is from state aid. That was about $104 million. Federal funding was, in the general fund, not a lot recorded. That's primarily Medicaid funding, about $211,000. Then you have interdistrict sources, which is primarily the Act 18 funds received through the county enhancement millage. You can see that compares to last year's total revenue of $146 million. So revenue was actually down a little bit from 24 compared to 25. And really the largest portion of that was, as you can see, in the state aid funding, and there was some changes in some of the MIPSRS funding that the state had been paying the district to offset some of the MIPSRS costs and the pension costs as the states continue to try to pay down that unfunded liability at the state level. Next, we take a look at general fund expenditures. You can see that the expenditures for 2025 were about $139 million. This graph shows the expenditures by function. So you can see that for the total expenditure breakdown, the majority of it would be through instructional expenditures. So that's about 57% of total expenditures were related to instructional costs. And that would include basically direct teacher-pupil interaction and other direct classroom activities. Next, we have support services, about 41%, and you can see the percentages decline from there. Next, we take a look at general fund expenditures again, but this time by object, so where those were expended. And you can see the majority of the salaries, the majority of the expenditures are for salaries and benefits. As you would expect, any service organization, the majority of your costs would be salaries and benefits. And for this last year, total salaries and benefits were roughly about 88% of the total costs incurred by the district. And that would be what you would typically see in districts throughout the state. Just, again, you're paying people to educate kids, and that's where the majority of the costs end up getting expended. Next, we take a look at the general fund balance. So the general fund balance is impacted by those results on an annual basis. So we just looked at the revenue and expenditures. For the year, the district had 1.6 million of revenues in excess of expenditures. So that effectively adds to your fund balance. The fund balance is really, you can look at it, it's the difference between your assets and your liabilities. It really represents the financial reserves of the district. It allows the district to manage financial surprises and uncertainties that might pop up throughout the year. So you can see this 5-year history. You can see this year we've added, like I said, about $1.6 million to our fund balance to end the year at $33.7 million of fund balance. And you can see the history we've had for the last few years. There is obviously that dip in 2023, but the district has been able to recover and recoup that fund balance and get back on that kind of stable trend line where it's historically been. So fund balance is an important metric. It is something that's assessed, certainly by the state and other folks. Again, it helps determine, it's the financial reserves. It helps give some indication of the financial strength of an organization. So the question then becomes, what is an appropriate or adequate level of fund balance or fund reserve? Oftentimes, fund balance is analyzed as a percentage of your expenditures. So if you take your fund balance at June 30th, 2025, which was, like we just mentioned, about $33.7 million, you divide that by your expenditures of roughly $139 million, that gives you a percentage of about 24.2%. So you can see in the graph here at 24.2, the statewide average is a point of reference for June 30, 2024, which is the last year at this point for which complete data is available, was about 24.7%. So you're right about that state average level for last year. And as you can see, other than the 2023 dip we had, Wayne Westland's always been just at or just above the state average. So in terms of managing and be a steward of your financial resources, you've been at about or a little above the state average level. So that is a quick summary of the financial results for the year ended June 30th, 2025. I'd be happy to address any questions if there are any this evening.
Does anyone have any questions? Yes, Mrs. Hines.
I just had a brief question, because I'm really concerned about a lot of the cuts from the federal government, a lot of programs, and, we're trying to keep our fund balance together. And do you see like a trend of other districts? I know, thank God, we're a little bit of ahead, but do you see like districts in our area, are they struggling as well with some of the finances?
So it is interesting. If we looked at the fund balance percentage, so we said the state average last year was just over 24%. If you went back 10 years ago, the state average would have been more kind of in the mid-teens. When COVID hit, there were significant funds that were sort of injected into the educational system. So the state averages really went up, and now that the COVID funding has essentially been exhausted, so for Wayne Westland, for example, all your COVID funds have been expended, there is a concern about now these fund balance levels are going to come down to maybe more historical levels. That being said, a lot of organizations who would make recommendations, usually that 15 to 20% fund balance level is what's recommended by the Michigan School Business Officials, Government Finance Officers Association. So for the last few years, districts have sort of gone above that, but now again with the exhaustion of the COVID funding, uncertainty in Washington, what's going to go on with federal funding going forward, will the Department of Education even exist next year? There is a lot of concern. So fortunately, districts are at the moment in a little bit better position to deal with that, have a little bit more fund balance. And again, that's why fund balance is important. It enables you to deal with those uncertainties. So again, you have an ability to deal with those things as they come up and a little bit more long-term perspective versus having to deal with immediate drastic cuts. So again, by having maintained and really monitored and nourished that fund balance gives you some flexibility to deal with those uncertainties.
Thank you.
Mr. Roshan?
A question, are there any things that we may could consider adopting that you've seen in other districts?
I wouldn't say anything really offhand. I mean, I think, Jewel and Kate and the business office have done a fantastic job these last couple of years. We obviously saw in 2023 some of the challenges that the district faced, and things have really turned around. And so the audit process this year was very clean. There was no findings. It went according to plan. They were well prepared. The audit this year went really, really well. So certainly a testament to the business office and the team there for the jobs they've done. So, so overall, like I said, it was a very, very clean audit process.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Jewel.
Thank you. I just have a follow-up question. From slide 2, under the federal program, CNC Title I and Title II,
Yes.
can you speak a little under federal programs, the third bullet, not issued due to release of 2025 compliance supplement? I think
Yes.
I missed what you said, but if you don't mind.
Yes, so certainly, so you'll notice in your packet that the federal program audit is listed as a draft. So we actually can't issue that report until the Federal Office of Management and Budget every year comes out with what's called the compliance supplement. The compliance supplement updates the requirements that you have to follow. It's usually issued in the springtime. Well, it hasn't been issued yet, so they're already behind when it would be typically be issued. And now, of course, the federal government is shut down, so that, who knows when that's going to be issued. So we say we haven't issued it yet until that they come out and issue that compliance supplement. Now, there is a draft available, so we have a good idea of what the final is going to look like. And based on all that, like I said, there's no findings, there's no issues, a very, very clean audit result. But yeah, so we're sort of in limbo until the federal government issues the compliance supplement. And once that happens, we'll be able to then issue that federal program audit.
Thank you, that makes sense. And so then once that's issued, will we get a final copy of that document?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, so it's interesting, and the state actually had to change the law about this, because you're required to submit your audit reports by November
Right.
1st. Well, a complete audit report includes that federal program audit. Obviously, it's outside of district's control, we can't issue it, so they actually put some provisions in this year that it'll be considered timely file if it's filed within 30 days of when the compliance supplement is final issued. So once that's final issued, we'll get that turned around quickly, and you'll get the final reports at that point in time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Steven? All right. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
All set. Next on the agenda is item 155.26, citizens' comments on agenda items.
I have one here. We have a Miss Gwen, and I don't want to say it, Frettenborough. How do you pronounce that? I don't want to say it wrong. Frettenborough. Frettenborough.
Hi, I just have two things. I was just wondering, and hopefully I'll hear it, but I wanted to make sure I got it said during consent agenda items. How the new mission statement came to be, 159.26. I kind of like our old mission statement, so I'm wondering if there was a group that was put together that did this, or if this was just, so I'm hoping to hear how the new mission statement came to be. And under 157.26, under the finance report, I was reading that earlier, and it kind of makes me sad that we're already talking about how we're gonna have a deficit next year and how that's going to affect things moving forward. And then just another side comment, I'm wondering, are there other companies out there besides Plant Moran that can do our audit? So, thank you.
Thank you. Any others?
Ms. Hines, are there any others that you have?
That's all I see for right now.
Thank you. We are now at item 156.26, consent agenda. Sorry, I will entertain a motion for the
So
consent
moved.
agenda.
Support.
Discussion. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
President May.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0.
thank you. We are now at 157.26, Board of Education Committee reports. Mr. Ambrose with the Finance and Facility Committee report.
The Finance and Facility Committee meeting was called to order on October 8th at 5:35 p.m. with the following in attendance: Mr. Ambrose, Miss Abney Mitchell, Miss Hines, Dr. Cost, Miss Claire, Mr. Montaigne, Mr. Beebe, and Miss Markey. We first heard from Mr. Montaigne requesting that we approve an award for the Filter First contract to Spartan Construction Group for $1.6 million. This was a request proposal that was put out for public bid, and our opening was held on September 18th. The good news with this, this project will be completely covered by our Filter First grant, which purchased the equipment, and the Healthy Schools 12A grant for the installation, and it will not be charged to the general fund. This will all come from grant funding. The second thing that was discussed was the renewal of a single wire Informcast licensing by Mr. Beebe. This program is a critical component of our district's emergency notification system. It synchronizes our clocks, our fire alerts, our weather and lockdown notifications. This will be a 3-year renewal at just over $40,000, and it will be charged, if approved, to the general fund. We went over our check register. For the month of September, we spent just over $3.9 million across all funds. Our investment report we had a balance of just over $56.5 million. This was due to property taxes being put in. Our state budget was signed. It gives us an increase of $400 per student. There were also increases to at-risk, which is our 31A funding, and ELL funding. Free student breakfast and lunches will continue. We did, however, lose some small categorical funds for literacy grants and the driver education grant. We heard from Dr. Cost. She is concerned while the budget is done, the way the budget was structured over the next few years does give us the possibility of having some deficits, as she does not expect our student grant allowance to increase over the next few years. And with that, she is going to work with her executive team to limit any increases in spending and to be more judicious in what we are going to fund. And with that, we adjourned. We did reconvene again this past Thursday, the 16th, where we met with Plant Moran to go over the audit. As the first read, as it was said, there was no deficiencies. I do want to thank Miss Claire and her team. To be able to have an audit like that speaks to the dedication that they have over the stewardship of the funds of this district. And so thank you for your hard work.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Ms. Ambrose? Thank you. Mr. Roshan, for the Student Achievement Committee report.
Yes, the Student Achievement Committee report was held October 15th at 5 o'clock. Instead of having the Student Achievement Committee formal meeting, we instead participated in the district's trunk or treat, which was amazing. When I went outside and saw how many kids was out there, the lines, the trunks, the costumes, I was like, why did I not have my car pulled up with my costume on? I really look forward to next year. Everyone was telling me it's going to be amazing. I was expecting it to be amazing, but I was truly blown away. Just to be able to engage with the children, the parents, the community. Great way to spend our afternoon last Wednesday. After that, actually in the middle of that, me and President May, we went over to, there was a parent advisory committee meeting. We kind of stepped in there and just kind of listened and got some feedback from parents. So last Wednesday was a great day for our district and for our community. So that's our report.
Thank you. Next, we have item 158.26, review and approval of business service and finance. We have a recommendation to approve Filter First purchase. Mr. Toko.
Good evening, board and community. As Gino Montaigne, Executive Director of Maintenance and Operations, presented at the October Finance Committee meeting, I am requesting approval to award the Filter First contract to Spartan Construction Group as recommended by TMP Architecture, which is our architectural company. The total award recommendation is $1,647,000 and will be charged to both the Filter First grant and the Healthy Schools grant.
Thank you. I'm looking for a motion.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Rochon,
Yes.
President May,
Yes.
motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Dr. O'Philly is up next with the recommendation to approve the renewal of single wire and Formcast licensing.
Thank you, President May. As Daryl Beebe, Executive Director of Technology and Innovation, presented at the October 8th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting, the district is seeking approval to renew the single wire and Formcast licensing, which is a critical component of our district's emergency notification systems. Approval of this renewal represents an essential investment in maintaining the safety and security infrastructure of our schools. The proposed renewal covers 3 years of licensing at a total cost not to exceed $40,722, which will be charged to the general fund. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Looking for a motion.
So moved.
Support.
Support.
Discussion. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Rochon,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
President May,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. We are now at 159.26, review and approval of curriculum instruction and assessment. This is a recommendation to approve the district's strategic plan, goals, mission, and vision statements. Mrs. Jefferson, Dr. Jefferson, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Well, first, I just wanted to also thank the board for the work session or special meeting, because I thought that was a great opportunity to work with the board and talk about how the goals came to be, and give credit to Nancy Schulz, who's done an incredible amount of work on this. I also want to just mention she has done a lot of work on this. Before I ask for the approval, I am prepared to answer the question if you'd like me to do that, or I can reach out separately and answer that question regarding the mission.
No, please answer the question.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I can speak from only my understanding. My understanding is that at some point during Jen Curry's interim superintendency, she requested a little bit more specificity to the mission, and that there was a cross-department team put together that included all the departments and had input, and then they prepared this mission statement that, as the last one was a little vague, this one is a little bit more specific. That is my understanding of how the new mission came to be. So that's it from my perspective. And then I can go over the recommendation for approval.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so as discussed at the September 20th, 2025 special board meeting, I'm requesting board support and approval of the district strategic plan, with our MTSS attendance in Tier 1 being the 3 specific goals that we have. These are really crafted with data and a lot of input. Much of what occurred before I was blessed to be in the district, but I'm super supportive, and we've been working together to come up with these. And curriculum instruction and assessment recognizes that these three goals are heavily owned by our department and CIA. So the first one is a tier 1 standard of care, making sure just all students are having what they need academically, looking at ELA and math, and getting those standard aligned common benchmark assessments fully developed and entered into a system that is accessible. For us, that is a combination of DNA and EduClimber, but so that those common assessments are everywhere, or accessible to leadership, so that we can look at data across multiple settings and have that data be common. And so this will help teachers and administrators be able to establish and ready for implementation by the same date next year. So we're thinking based on this goal, that is a June goal. The second major goal is the multi-tiered system of support, which you've heard a lot about, but that's an effort to equitably support the social emotional growth and sense of belonging for our students while increasing academic outcomes. Secondary MTSS process will be created, documented, and aligned in progress, process, and implemented across all 612 buildings. As you know, K-5 is already implementing and running. And then the third one is attendance and looking at chronic absenteeism. And that is not a deficit that is unique to Wayne Westland, but certainly attendance and chronic absenteeism is something that we feel is a goal because we want students here so that they can learn and take advantage of all the awesome opportunities that Wayne Westland has to offer. So I would just ask for support for the strategic plan and the goals that we have set out before you and the ones discussed at the special meeting in September. Any questions?
Are there any questions? I have one.
Yeah.
So what you're asking us to approve tonight is for 25-26, not the full strategic plan that runs through 2029?
I believe this approval is for the strategic plan
Along with the
with
25-26 goals?
yes.
Okay.
The 25-26 ones are just a little bit more dialed in for some immediate accountability by June.
So I see posted there are the goals for 25-26. Do we have the goals that we're approving for,
We do. I didn't include them in this presentation,
Okay.
but in the one that we did before with Nancy, it scopes it out
Right.
through 2028.
I remember that. I just
I
wanted
think
the
they're called-
community to see it.
They're
To know
called
what we were
challenge.
approving.
They're called challenge statements in
Okay.
that one, and they're very similar. They just scope out to 2028.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Are there any other questions? Discussion?
I have a, discussion. I would love for the community to see, those goals for 2000, all the way up to 2028 before I, approve this right now.
Let's, if it's acceptable, approve the goals for the 2025-26 goals. And then we can look at the whole strategic plan in a month, or we can hold off till next month and provide the whole strategic plan.
So we don't need to approve the goals for 25-26. We would just be approving the entire strategic plan. Do you know what I mean? So we could hold off so that we could do the entire plan versus the 25-26 goals, pulling those outside of the strategic plan. Because really, the board is only approving the strategic plan, the mission, the vision, and the belief statements.
Yes. I certainly can put the challenge statements up there. They're not in this presentation, but they are the same ones from the work session. Oh,
So you think you can put them up tonight, or do we need to table it?
I think we could put them up tonight.
Okay. Let's just do that, just so that everybody sees what we're voting for, if we
Okay.
can. Okay. Okay. So do we need to take like a 5-minute recess?
Yep.
Okay. So can I have a motion, support for a 5-minute recess?
Support.
Thank you. All in favor?
So take a 5-minute recess.
Mr. Rochon and then Mr. Ambrose. I am now calling the board meeting back to session at 7:49 PM. We don't need a motion to go start, do we? We do, okay. May I have a motion to go back into open session?
So moved.
Thank you, so. Mrs. Abney Mitchell. All right. Dr. Jefferson.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to add more information in here. So this is the full presentation and strategic plan, and I don't have the ability to just go through, but he may. So if we keep going to the challenge statements, you will see where it is scoped out to 2028. And this whole thing does kind of show too the process that was gone through. So this is the 2025 through 2030 challenge statements, and then as the 3 to 5 year, and then when it progresses on in the presentation is where you get dialed into the 25, 26 ones that I presented earlier.
Thank you. So I'm just gonna pause for a minute so that people in the audience can read those challenge statements. Very good. All right. And so then based on these challenge statements, each year, there will be goals derived.
Yep,
Based
funnel it down
on-
to
yep.
something a little bit more specific, concrete for accountability.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Are there any questions from the board?
President May, if I could interject.
Absolutely.
So we saw Mr. Tyler with his students, and the data they presented on were these exact goals. So we're hoping that by doing the presentation, people can see how schools are making these goals real.
Awesome. What I can appreciate is the alignment, and that we're not, and we see where we're going, we see where we are, and then what we're trying to achieve. So thank you for that. At this point, we will take a motion.
Support.
Thank you. Support for the recommendation to adopt a strategic plan. We had a motion. we
So
need
I would
support.
motion that we.
Right, I said you
adopt
did the
one.
motion. I was waiting on the
Motion.
support.
I support. She
Okay, so I did
supported
the
it.
motion.
Why nobody
Oh,
said
I was
it?
like, what's happening? Okay.
So I'm a motion, Hines a motion. and-
We got it.
Got it. Discussion?
Oh, real quick.
Mhm.
So I'd like to thank everybody who participated in this activity. It was really enlightening to see like the positive strides that we're making. One thing I did like about our strategic plan session, we're talking about doing like the positive social media, you know, kind of getting ahead of things and really highlighting the amazing things that we do in Wayne Westland. So thank you for all of you guys' work and board members as well.
Thank you. If nothing else, Mrs. Hines, would you please call roll?
Yeah, Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Ms. Abby Mitchell,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. President May.
Yes.
5-0, motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we are at item 160.26, review and approval of Board of Education. Looking for a recommendation to approve the adoption of board book. We talked about this at our September meeting, and we said we would bring it back to our October meeting to vote on. So I'm looking for a motion.
Motion.
Support.
Discussion.
I'd like a quick discussion.
Absolutely.
Yep, so again, you guys, it makes it a lot easier, you know, you have the stuff electronically and saves paper and all that good stuff, so saves money. And it works itself out. And the one thing I do like about having it electronically is, we had it in the past, Dr. Holden, it went really good. Cause sometimes you need to dig up some stuff from way back and it's like already on file, so it makes it easier to find things. That's it.
Yeah, I'm finding myself having to go through the emails to find stuff, and having it in a central location would really help out.
Absolutely. I agree with everything that has been stated. I also just like the fact of like, we're gonna save some trees, and some time for people. You know, we always talk about how do we maximize the staff that we have and maximize just the things that we have, and that we're moving forward, right? We're not still operating, from times in the past. And so that was one of the things that I appreciated about Board Book. And again, just having that immediate access to our information versus having to wait for a packet. All of us work, and so when you can, you know, if you have some downtime and you're able to jump on a computer or your iPad and take a look at it and not have to wait for a packet to come, that's always great. So with that being said, any other discussion?
I don't know if we have it available, but I did request a ballpark figure of the savings. So I don't think we have that available tonight?
No.
Okay.
Any other questions? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Miss Abby Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes, Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Miss President May.
Yes.
Sorry, 5-0,
okay.
motion carries.
Thank you. We are now at item 161 point, I'm sorry, before I go to that item, I do have a question. We talked about, the public having access to board book as well. Will we implement that moving forward? Are we still talking about that?
We can talk to our representative about that.
Okay.
Because this was going to be implemented in January.
Right, right, okay.
Also, the QR code.
So now we are at item 161.26, citizens' comments on non-agenda items. Do we have any, Mrs. Hines?
I don't see any new ones. Anybody in the audience would like to do any additional citizens' comments? Okay.
Thank you. So now we are at 162.26, interim superintendent's report and comments. Dr. Cost.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Jewel and her staff. The audit having no findings is just such a strike of confidence in her department as well as the district and the board that we are spending money the way we say we're going to spend money in the ways that the law says we need to. So what a huge confidence booster going into the November 5th ballot election or ballot language. I just wanted to remind voters that there is a motion on the ballot. It's a 0% tax increase that would support schools. I know the language is atrocious. We had attorneys that had to create that for us. A vote of support would be yes, a vote of no support would be no. And that's confusing at times. So I just wanted to say, please vote, and we're looking forward to good news November 5th. Last but not least, I have not only a certificate of recommendation for our president, Kimberly May, in addition to a State of Michigan proclamation from Peter Herzberg, and it starts out, "Let it be known with great respect and admiration that we, together with the citizens and the community of Westland, join in honoring Kimberly May at the Westland Multicultural Festival." And you were one of the keynote speakers. You did an outstanding job, and he wanted to present this to you.
There you go. Yes, ma'am.
I'll take that for you.
Thank you. All right, kind of thrown off. We are now at review and recommendations, Board of Ed 163.26. Mrs. Hines.
All right, so we had a really good meeting today. Things are moving in an amazing, positive way. Was able to watch the Wayne Memorial Marching Band at a couple of events, and they are just amazing. I actually had a guy come out to do a podcast just to, take a look at the band, the homecoming, over the weekend. And so we had, the City of Westland had a farmer's market, so I'm the president of the Kiwanis Club, and we had a spooktacular. So we had a table there. We were able to give out over 100 free brand new books to the kids in the community. And it was so awesome because, even though we're giving out candy and books, the kids were excited for the books. And we actually went through, almost all the books. We only had, 10 left. So I'm super excited about the book drive. And I kind of want to work more with agencies to see how we can collect books and really just give out books. Because I was just so happy to see the kids were excited to get, new books. It was really awesome. There's a trunk or treat that's going to be with Hype Wednesday, October 29th. At 6 o'clock, and I think the 18th District Court is having a trunk or treat Wednesday, October 22nd, from 5:30 to 7, and it looks like it's gonna be, over at the parking lot right near the court in Westland, 18th District Court. And I'm just excited with my colleagues will be going to Traverse City to take some classes and learn some more exciting things. One thing I love about going to the Michigan Association of School Boards conferences, you learn so much. We make a lot of connections with different districts. We learn a lot of things because sometimes other districts might be struggling with the same thing. So just making those partnerships, collaborations, and then again, the classes, especially now what's going on in the new environment, you know, the different cuts, the funding, you can't say this, you can't do that. So, you know, it's a really scary time for board members right now. So I think like the additional information that we get is really helpful. And that's all I got to say for right now I can think of. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Mr. Roshan.
Yes. Every month I, with the help of Kim, she just really put the schedule together for me to visit different schools in the district. I want to attend and visit and meet students and principals, just have conversations and seeing how we can support the district, the schools. And today I visit Wayne Westland Innovative Academy, and I visit Franklin Middle School today. One of our stellar staff is there. I saw her working. I was like, hi. I was walking around with the principal. Talked to at Wayne Westland Innovative Academy. Talked to Dr. Rosser, and just amazing what we're doing in our district. Just amazing. All I kept saying is, where are the cameras? Because our students. I was one student. He asked, he said, "Are you the new principal?" I said, "No, I'm not the new principal." He said, "Cool, because we like our principal." I said, I'm not mad. And he said, "Well, who are you?" I said, "I'm on the school board." And he said, "Man, I got put out of Wayne Westland." I said, "Well, if you get back on track, we can get you back in there." He said, "I don't want to. I love this school." So just to see the students excited about being in school, giving them that second chance was really did my heart well. And also had the opportunity to talk to the student council at the high school as well. And I told them we want to get them involved in our school board, maybe get a student representative, and they were excited. And I said, I want to come and support. They said, "Well, come back today at our student council meeting at 1:30. And I was like, whoa. All right, I'll be there. And I made my way back, got there a couple minutes late, but I just wanted to show them that we're here to support them as parents, community members, staff, school board members. From there, went over a little later and went to Franklin Middle School, and I said, I wish I went to a middle school like this. Just the building was pristine. Principal Pringle, she was amazing. I watched the students come up to her, just, "Miss Pringle, can I tell you about my weekend? Can I tell you this?" And just the connection that she had with the students, the staff. We went to every wing. She showed me around the whole building. And I was like, it's so quiet. And watching the students learn, and the classrooms were very peaceful, but also energized in some classrooms. I went to some science labs, and I was like, man, we really need to highlight our district. We really need to highlight our district more, because if people saw what was going on in our schools, there would be more people trying to get into our district. So I just wanted to shout out those principals. They're doing a great job from what I've seen, and we're here to support you, and I'll be making my rounds to hopefully all the schools this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Ambrose?
These past few weeks have actually been a lot of fun. Our employee recognition night, I got a lot of steps in that night. We had two very big events that happened that night at the district. Recognizing our employees, which I don't think we do enough of sometimes. Our employees do a lot of little things that I think we take for granted. And it was nice to be able to see that some of our employees were recognized for their contributions in moving this district forward. I was amazed how many of them actually were graduates from this district. And wanted to give back. And why I say a lot of steps was during dinner, I walked out because our middle school kids were at the football field playing the national anthem. John Glenn followed them with their halftime show for MSBOA. I came back in time just to see the awards being given out. And then afterwards, a few of us walked over and watched Wayne Memorial perform their show. The Trunk or Treat was an awesome event. I had a lot of fun with that. I think surprised a lot of people by showing up. I didn't have a vehicle, but I had a replica drum that dates back to the Revolution. It was a modern replica. And I let the kids have some fun with it while I handed them out candy. I don't think the people next to me appreciated the noise that came from it, but that was a lot of fun. And then I had the chance to talk to the Canton residents about our bond proposal. So it's been a fun and productive month of October, and I can't say enough about Miss Claire's team. To have no deficiencies in an audit is amazing. It's the attention to details that make that happen, and so again, thanks to your team for all their work. And that's it.
Thank you. Mrs. Abney Mitchell.
Yes, good evening. I just have a few comments. So, this is the season when we become festive, we give thanks, and we have gratitude. And I have so much gratitude and thanks to be on this board. So first of all, I'd like to thank all my colleagues, for all the things that we do. We show up for the students. We be in the places. We may not all be together, but somebody is going and they reporting back. So it ain't like they going and it's on a hush hush, but they sharing the information with you. So now I want to run over to the school, Miss Swanson. I'll be over there to see you since he came. No, I'm just playing, but it's shared information and it just makes you smile. And I'm just thankful and I appreciate our students. And I say this with all my heart. I'm part of the Discipline Hearing Committee and we meet every Wednesday. But since the school year has started, we have canceled the meetings on Wednesday 4 or 5 times because we didn't have no discipline hearings. That is great. That makes me feel so good. And I just like to thank Miss Claire and her team, but I like to thank all of our staff, from our administrators to our groundkeepers. Everybody that come here every day and show up for our students. Because this was a chosen job. And we do it so well. We do it better together. And when we sharing and caring, it makes it better for our students, for our parents, our community, the young safeties. Everybody has a point of pride in the Wayne Westland School District. Whether it was your teacher gave you a hug or your classmate gave you a hug or you got an A on your paper. It's a point of pride somewhere. And another thing that I do in the community, I'm part of End Gun Violence Michigan, where we promote the gun laws and everything. So to see all the past bond work done on our buildings, my biggest concern was in the buildings, you used to be able to just walk straight through. John Glenn, you could walk in the building, go straight up the stairs. But for our buildings to go straight to the office now, that's a sign of the times, and it makes me so proud that our students are safe. that our teachers are safe. So I'm just happy to be part of the Wayne Westland School District. I have a lot of gratitude. On Tuesday, November the 4th, we do have a bond issue on the ballot. Please get out and vote yes. Because like I just explained, from the past bond, we had work done and it benefited the safety of our students. So if we get the next bond approved, we can have more work done to still promote the safety, the education. I got a foot on me. I guess they want to watch the Lions game, or either they want my Lions socks.
No, we just want you to encourage people to vote
I just did that.
and not tell them how to vote.
Oh. Vote yes on the bond ballot. You have a choice, yes or no. Yes or no. Yes or thank you.
Thank you. So I'd just like to say thank you to Brooklyn, Liam, Cameron, and Mr. Tyler this evening. Truly appreciated the children leading us in the pledge. It's so nice to be back to that, to have them here with us, and to have Mr. Tyler present such a wonderful presentation. I was really impressed with the attendance. As we've had the various presentations, we've had the conversations around attendance, and attendance being at like 60, 70, 80%, but to see where his attendance was for Edison was really good. I'd like to also thank Mrs. Claire and her staff in regards to the audit with Plant Moran and just the work that has taken place. We know where we were. We also know some of the recommendations that were made from Plant Moran previously, and Mrs. Claire came in, immediately jumped on those recommendations, and we see the difference that that made. So thank you so much for that. As my colleagues have shared, the Trunk or Treat was just a fabulous event. The kids were so happy and dressed in some of the cutest costumes. It was just amazing to see them, and just they had so much fun. Really enjoyed seeing the line for the haunted house that the students from John Glenn put together, and how the kids would go through and then immediately jump right back in the long line and say, I'm going right back through, because they just had such a ball. I also want to just take a moment to say thank you to Mrs. Jenny Johnson for her work with the Parent Advisory Committee. As Mr. Roshan shared, had an opportunity to stop by the meeting, just excited to hear what the parents had to say, and it wasn't from a space of criticism, but how do we work together? These are things that we would like to see. These are ways that we want to support the district, but these are ways in which the district can help us to support our children. And so I'm really excited to see what comes from that. I also want to take a moment to just say congratulations to our Employee of the Year recipients. Thank you for all that you all do each day, showing up and knowing that this job is not an easy job. So thank you so much. Wanted to just shout out Dr. Jefferson really quick for the pivot tonight with putting the goals up for us. So thank you so much for that. And then wanted to just mention the multicultural breakfast and having the opportunity to hear Glenn's choir lead us in the national anthem, as well as some other pieces that morning. It was just a really, really, really nice event, and to have our students there was just heartwarming. And the final thing that I would like to say is just I want to say thank you to my esteemed board colleagues. The way in which this board shows up at events and supports the district is phenomenal, and I truly, truly thank you all for that. I have been somewhat MIA at events, and that's due to some family issues, but I am just truly grateful that my colleagues are there. And as Mrs. Abney Mitchell shared, it's not a competition. Everyone shares the great things that are happening, and it just continues to motivate all of us, and I am grateful for that. And with that being said, it is 8:14, and I am looking for a motion to adjourn.
Can I say something right quick? I know I'm out of order, but
what else is new?
I do apologize, but please, Tuesday, November the 4th, go out and vote. Yes, it's a favorable vote for the school district, but it's your choice to vote your way. Thank you. I make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry.